Hey everyone, and welcome to my craft room. My name's Julianne Richards and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in southern Tasmania. Apologies to everyone for the late hour. It's actually got quite dark, so I'm actually trying to work out the best way to put my lights and everything together. Yes, I've been meaning to go live all day and haven't managed to organise myself at all, so this is the first opportunity I've had. So bear with me, I'm just going to see. And obviously my volume is working, so that's fine. Anyway, as I say, meaning to go live all day and just haven't quite managed it, so I thought I'd jump on now that it's getting towards the end of the day into the evening and it's a bit quieter around the home. Forgive my dirty grid paper here. I've actually been doing these cards, practicing with this card most of the afternoon, and so it's quite a messy undertaking. So it's great, I'm seeing some people jump on already. I see my friend Sally, hello, and Margaret and Gail and Robin, hi Robin, and Renee and Gloria and Jan. Great, thanks for you guys jumping on at short notice. The ladies who came to my last Zoom saw me make this card live, but I forgot to press the record button, which, as you guys know, is my standard setting, to forget to press the record button. So I thought I'd make my video today just showing how to make this card here. I've tried to make it with other images other than now somebody's decided to start the vacuum cleaner out the back, which is great, so hopefully that noise won't stop us too much. Anyway, so yeah, forgot to press the play button or the record button, so I thought I'd make it for you today instead. So this is the one I'm going to make. This is actually a larger version of it. This is a 5" by 7" version. Today I'm just going to make the 4x6, just to sort of scale it down a little bit. That vacuum cleaner sounds really close, so hopefully it won't get too loud. Anyway, so let's do this one. And as I say, ladies who came to my Zoom, apologies, you've seen this one before. Okay, so what I have here is a piece of basic white cardstock. It's a little bit larger than I would normally use for a card front. It's actually 4 1/4 by 6. It's just that we'll trim it down in the end, once we've finished stamping it, and then it'll be the right size for our card front. So I've also got a panel of Mango Melody cardstock, which I love that colour, it's just so bright and happy, and then a card base made from Night of Navy, and the contrast between those two colours is just absolutely lovely, and that's the colour, the contrast we're going to get in our card as well. So to make the lovely crisp lines around these beautiful poppies, which is what they are, I'm actually using Masking Magic. So Stampin' Up doesn't actually sell Masking Magic, so I buy mine online, or masking paper, depends what you call it. So this is the masking paper that I use, and I buy it online. So all you really need to do is pop to your favourite craft store that isn't Stampin' Up, and Google or search Masking Magic or masking paper, and this is what you'll get. So to do the card, what I've actually done, I'm going to use the painted poppies, of course, that's where our poppies have come from. You actually grab a piece of this masking paper, and I'll just show you. You just grab a piece. You can use the masks again and again and again, so don't worry too much about wasting it because it's not overly cheap. Just grab a piece of the masking paper, get your ink, your black ink, and the image you want to mask, and then you just basically stamp that on there. Now then you can use either dies or just fussy cut, and you cut this little image out, and this is going to be our mask. Now I would fussy cut over using dies, only because with dies you get a lot more white space around the image, and it looks a bit weird once you've sponged around it. So anyway, you cut all the way around this. I'm just doing this one roughly. Someone tell me if that vacuum cleaner is too loud and I will go and ask them to stop. Who vacuums at 5:30 at night anyway? It's just unheard of. And around here, nobody usually vacuums at all except me. So anyway. Okay, so we've got our little mask there. This is just our little poppy. Then all you do is pull the paper off the back. The masking paper is very much like, oh sorry Robin, you can only just hear me. It's probably, I need to put my microphone in. So you've got your little mask there. Bear with me, I'm just going to grab my microphone and hopefully that will increase. Or is it the vacuum cleaner you can't hear? Can only just hear it. Yeah, hopefully that's the vacuum cleaner you're saying you can only just hear. I'll leave it to that and I won't bother putting the microphone in just yet. Okay, so there we are. We have our tiny little mask for our poppy. Thank you, Dale. Yeah. Yeah, so that's it for our mask. And so what you do is you work out how many of these little image of poppies you want and you basically make that many masks. So in my card I'm going to have 5 or 6 of the small poppies and 2 of the large ones. So they're the masks that I've made. And I thought it was a good idea just to store them in the back panel of my stamp set just to keep them safe. And as I say, you can use them 3 or 4 times. The last lot that I used them I think 4 times before they got a little bit ratty. Okay, so we'll bring in our piece of basic white for stamping, and what we're going to do is pop our images of our poppies straight onto this in our black. So I'm going to pop those on. I'll start with, actually I want to start with my big poppy because that's my focal point. I keep bumping my iPad there. I'll use this one. Okay, so we'll use the big one to start with. I'm going to pop 2 big poppies in here. So one sort of here. You can do, you know, whatever you want. As far as images goes, I tried it with the butterflies and I've tried it with the dragonflies. But I think the poppies were the nicest that I've tried. So we've got the 2 there. And then I'll swap to our little poppy. And I love this one. It looks like it's sort of partially wilted. And we'll pop that around. Gone too far. I'm going to flip that over because I've actually gone too far down. Too far down. I might start with this one. Apologies for that. I've worked my way down the page too far and I wouldn't have been able to fit all the poppies on. I'm trying to copy it from a larger card, so I just have to scale it up as I go. So we'll work up this way. And you will go over the edges sometimes, there's not a problem with that. Now I'll swap to the big one. I think I saw Tonya say, yes, I sent you a version of this card, Tonya, for your get well. Hopefully you're feeling well or better. This one up here. I'm going to change slightly from my original because I've mucked it up. I'll put one up here. I'm going to have to use another little poppy in the middle there somewhere. Yeah, no, it's a good thing I've got a spare little poppy because I'll use it in that central spot there. I hope those shadows aren't too hard for you guys. As I say, it's got really dark quickly in Tassie at the moment. Is that one going to fit in there? Nope, that doesn't make it too crowded. I might just leave it. I'll leave it as that, and because I'm just really showing you guys the technique, so that's the main thing. I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, don't want to overdo it, which is my problem sometimes. So now we grab our little masks and we just pop them straight over the images that you've just stamped. Just will protect them from the next part of the process. So just masking these up just with our masking paper, and the masking paper is really nice because it sticks but it's not permanent, so once we're finished with our sponging, which is the next part of the process, it'll just come cleanly straight off, which is really, really nice. So just line it up, try and work out which way the pattern goes. That's it. I know what I wanted to do. One more little poppy up the top here, just to fill in the gap a bit. Where's that? Yeah. Just there. That's better. And just to grab a little mask for him. And put it over. Now when you cut these little masks out, as I mentioned before, try and keep as close to the image as you can. Don't leave too much white space, because it does look a bit funny when you've got a white gap around your image, and you'll see in a moment what I mean by that. So that's all masked up. So what I'm going to do now is use 3 of our beautiful blues. The darkest one is Night of Navy, then I go Pacific Point, and then I go Balmy Blue. So we've got sort of 3 shades of blue there, and that's sort of like our 3 shades of a sunrise or a sunset, maybe a sunset, I think. Anyway, so I'll start. I'm going to use just my one brush. These are our beautiful blending brushes. I jinxed myself the other day and said that they clean up perfectly, and then I went to clean them up and this one stained a little bit, but it's just staining. It's not going to come off on the paper at all, so it's fine. But you can use the one brush for, you know, multiple colours. It's just, I'll start with the lighter one and then work down to the darker one, and that's going to sort of match our sort of scene out as well. So as long as you're working from light to dark, you can use the same brush. I'm just going to put some ink on my brush, and starting off the page just with a circular motion, just sort of pop that ink on. So I'm going to start with the light up here in the top corner, and I'm actually letting it go slightly splotchy in a way, because I want it to be sort of like a motley sunrise with maybe some thin cloud or something, you know what I mean, sort of just like the light is just breaking through. So that's my Balmy Blue. Just like that. And I'm going to swap to my Pacific Point. I was originally going to use our beautiful Seaside spray for this one, but it's retiring, so I've had to put it away and use our other beautiful colours, which isn't a bad thing. Now this one's quite a strong colour, so we're going to try and merge the two in. So I'm going to go sort of back up and down, and as you can see, our masks are staying beautifully in place. So I'm going to get darker and darker with my Pacific Point as we go further down. And just merge it up a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to swap to my Night of Navy, beautiful dark Night of Navy. And I want that to be practically sort of midnight, practically black right down here in the corner, and merge up. That might take me a little while. I think my pad's a little bit dry. Yes, I am going to miss Seaside Spray as well, Tonya. I couldn't believe how much I'd grown to be my go-to blue. But hopefully we'll get, well, we know what our new colours are. I'm sure I'll get just as attached. So as I say, I want this really, really dark and merging up to my, that is really, must be really quite dry. There we are, that'll do. You can see what I can mean there. Anyway, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to see these beautiful, easy to remove masks. I've just got a little pointy implement here, and I can bring those masks off. And you can see how easily they come off. And leaving a beautiful, beautiful sharp, clear line. There we are, all the way up. How's that? That's really lovely, I think. Actually, I've done it again. I'm actually going to pop these ones back. This is what I did when I'll prove to you that you can use it more than once. This is what I did when we did it on my for our Zoom as well. I wanted to bring in some of the dots from the stamp set. I'm going to pop those back in, and I'm going to bring these dots from the stamp set in just to darken that that dark area even more. So I've got the dots from the Poppy Parade, painted poppies. I'll bring that Night of Navy back. Yes, I can see how dry that is. I'm going to have to re-ink that. I'm just going to put the dots just because we've got the masks on, we won't go where we don't want to go. There we are. I think that just adds a little bit of extra something to that. There we are. Okay. Oh. Now we'll bring those back off again. Okay. Ta-da! So how's that? I love that the contrast of the blue and the white is just really, really, really sharp and lovely. But anyway, we're going to colour it in. So I'll go and wash my sponge soon. So to colour the poppies, I'm using Mango Melody and Bumblebee. And so what I'm going to do to paint them first is actually get the Mango Melody, which is going to be the main colour. And I'm using my aqua painter, but my aqua painter is dry, so it hasn't got any, because I'm not using special watercolour paper, I'm just using normal cardstock, so I don't want to get it too wet. So I'm just going to use my aqua painter as a brush, and I have a spritzer here with some water in it, just in case I get a bit dry with my paintbrush. So I just get a small size B block. I just dump that in my Mango Melody just to get some ink on it. I'll grab my watercolour brush, and that is, it might be a tiny bit dry, so I'll just spritz it slightly, just a little bit of water just to get it to spread a little bit. And I'm just going to lose my end. I'm just going to paint our poppies. And you can see the contrast is even, I think it's even nicer than the white. I don't know, does anyone know whether they have orange poppies? I sure thought you have just about any colour. The way flowers are bred, you can just about have any colour of anything. Just going to paint those. Now you could use your blends if you didn't want to paint it, you didn't want to hand paint it, you could use your blends, or you could use the original one I did with, what was it, daubers. So it's just daubers, it makes it a little bit hard to be precise. So that's why I've gone with the paintbrush. With the aqua paint, you could just use a little paintbrush if you've got one. If you've got a favourite little paintbrush. This is going to take me a little while, I think. I might just pop a tiny bit of water in my aqua painter. Just from here. I won't go and run to the sink or anything. Oh, I'm going to make a lot of mess though, aren't I? Oh, don't get on my card. That's really watercolours, isn't it? Did I get any in there? Yes, I got some in there. Joys of live crafting. There we are. Just a tiny bit of water in there just to give us a droop. That's okay. You guys didn't see that. My little disaster. That's better. It's coming through better. The paint's picking up better. Now. So, okay, rewind. You need a little bit of water in your aqua painter. Yeah, that's much better. Apologies, it's taking a while. Nearly there, or halfway there. Quite like my splodges actually, it's quite nice. Reminds me of the salt technique. I've got that little splodges. I haven't done the salt technique for ages. You guys remember when we did the salt technique? We did it in a class, I think. Might have to do another video with that. I'm using Memento, Kathy. I have a bad experience with stays on and I tend to stay away from it. Let's just say that. It would be fine with stays on. I actually suggested to somebody the other day that they use stays on with it. It just depends whether you can, got the, I don't know, it was a big disaster when I used it, so I avoid it like the plague now. Yes, I suppose I should probably try and get back to it, but it traumatised me. Okay, here we are. That one's gone a little bit over the edges, but that's fine. Okay, so there's our poppies all painted. Find the end to my spritzer. There we are. So that's just really lovely, I think. Okay, so what I'm going to do with the Bumblebee is I'm going to just grab a dauber, just a dauber with, and pop some, just, oh, I might actually wait for it, I might dry it a little bit because it'd be quite wet. I'll dry it first, just with my heat gun on very low, because then if I go in with the dauber, I'm going to make my paper peel. And I've just lost my iPad, so I can't see comments anymore, unfortunately. So yeah, I'll get back to them once I finish the card. I can look up to my phone, but that's about it. Okay, well that's curled a little bit up that way, so I'll just turn it the other way and make it curl back the other way. But I think that's pretty dry. Ooh. Okay, so I say with my Bumblebee, which is a slightly darker colour, just going to grab and just give my poppies just a little dark, slightly darker centre. And probably I'm the only one who can see that, it is very subtle. But it just gives it a tiny little highlight, just a tiny, something a little bit different, just a little bit of dimension. There we are. Okay, so they're really nice. Well, I think so. Okay, so the only thing I'm going to do now is grab a marker, yeah, a black marker, and I'm going to just give these poppies just some very faint stalks, just black, and you might probably not even see it, but just give them some stalks so they don't look like disembodied flowers hanging in space. There you go. I don't suppose you get very many craft videos with disembodied poppies. I suppose they should be a little bit thicker than that, but I will just give them little ones for now. They probably should have leaves as well, but I've never actually thought of that. Anyway, so that'll do for now. There we are. Hopefully you like that there. And I'm just checking for the comments, just stretching up and checking for the comments on my phone since I haven't actually got my iPad working. Okay, so now we just need to trim that down so that it's the right size for our card front. As I say, I've made it quite large. It's going to break my heart, but we'll trim it down. Okay, so we want it to be, what do we want it to be? 3 3/4, and it's actually 4 1/4, so I need to take 1/4 inch off. So I might take 1/4 inch off each. What did I say? It's 4 1/4, and I want it. I might take 1/4 inch off both sides, so we don't lose too much. Oh, breaks my heart. And then I'm going to take off a little bit. I'm going to bring it down to, let's have a look. Yeah, bring it down to 5 3/8. Bye bye, Poppy. Okay, so that'll be our card there. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Then we're going to pop that onto our Mango Melody with some glue. Now I haven't put a sentiment on the front of this one, and I don't know that I will. I'll just make it an all occasions card, I think, and pop a sentiment on the inside. I just really don't want to cover anything over with a sentiment box or anything like that. I suppose you could bring a sentiment box in. We've got a bit of a gap here. We could pop a sentiment on there. But, you know, that's entirely up to you. But I'm going to leave this one blank just as an all occasions. I'll pop that on the front there. Just like that. So we have the blue and the Mango Melody sort of copied in our card base. And then I'll put my little white panel inside. And this is where I'll pop my sentiment later. We've got a card swap happening at the moment in my group, so someone might get that for their card swap. There we are. Yeah, so I suppose you could, if you wanted to bling it up a bit, you could add some gems or something. Probably give it a little bit of, wink of Stella. That's quite nice. I don't know, probably in this light with the sort of the light off the artificial light, you can probably see that a little bit more. So you could put that all over like that, or you could just put it in the centre like this, just to give it a little bit of a dew kissed look. Actually, I quite like that, actually, just in the centre there. Just, yeah, so you guys can decide, you know, when you give it a go, what you decide to do. But you can leave it plain too. I think it's just lovely. Okay, so that's my card for tonight. Thank you for sticking with me in my water disasters and my vacuum cleaners and my weird shadows and my iPad running out, everything like that. If you would like to know more about this particular design or anything Stampin' Up related, please reach out. If you would like to join my team or make a purchase, please, I'm more than happy to let you know, give you a hand. If you don't have a demonstrator and you would like to get on my mailing list for the upcoming catalogue, also please just reach out and I will pop you on my mailing list. We've got a new catalogue starting on the 4th of May, so we're all very excited. Thankfully, our Poppy, my favourite stamp set, the painted Poppies, and the Peaceful Moments, which is the sentiment that goes with it, are all continuing in the next catalogue. So, yay! That was very good news when I saw that. But anyway, thanks guys for joining me. Have a great evening or a great day, wherever you happen to be watching from, and I will catch you all again next time.